Good afternoon, here we are, 22nd of April. Where's this month gone? It's lovely and sunny outside. I'm actually in my own room at home today, so we might have a couple of dogs barking downstairs, you never know. But this is tile number 13, so lucky for some, not for others, but you know what? It's going to be great for us. I've got a real nice little tile lined up, something that uses Tangle's patterns we've used before, I suppose, but I wanted to do it in a different way, just to sort of see where we're all going and see if you can pick up the ones that we've used. One is probably one of the simplest, but we use it a lot, and it's got a lot of variations. So yeah, let's see how we go. I'm going to be a bit brave today as well. Hi everybody, hi there, sunny Scotland. Oh. I'm going to go in straight with my pen. So pencils can go to one side for a little bit and straight in with our pen. Okay. So we all written our name, our date, and the 13 number tile. There we go. Turning over then. All right. A deep breath. Oh, so what are we grateful for today? Grateful that I can sort of work on 6 hours sleep, I think. It's been a bit busy trying to get new products out and make them and prep for the shows and everything for tomorrow. It's a very, very early start, so I'm going to probably head over there later this evening. And I've got to be up early because the first show starts at 6:45. Wow. So that's going to be a bit of a day. Kent. Hi, Kent. Yeah, is it nice? It's nice down there. Do you know what? I'm really a little bit disappointed because obviously, you know, we have a show down in Kent and I've done that every single year since it's been going, and I'm missing that one. Okay, so we're not going in, as you notice, with just the dots and the border today. I've gone in with a sort of a curvy line. You might want to wait a minute and see what I'm doing with this. I'm going to put another line. I'm going to go a bit wider here, but then I'm going to go a little bit narrower. I feel like I need to stop in the middle there. All right, so I've got this sort of 2 lines going on. Okay. Hi there, Angela. Sandra Mansfield. Yeah, no Mansfield as well. Karen, Sally. Is that in the middle there? Oh, Sheila. Hi, Sheila. Okay, I'm going to turn my tile and I'm going to do, when I say the same, something similar. So I'm going to bring it this way, I think, this time. All the way down to the edge. See, I'm going right to the edge of that tile. And it doesn't matter whether you do them straight, wavy, whether they get a little bit fatter or thinner. But we want a little bit of difference in there. Okay. Hi, Garth. Mary. Oh, I'm glad you made it. There we go. Turning my tile, and I'm going to do the same again. So here we go. Let's go from there. Now you notice I'm not doing these lines the same on either side. I want a little bit of difference. So I'm going to get a bit wider, I think, there. And then when I get to a line that I've already drawn, I go underneath it and finish it off there. Okay, same on this side then. So let's go in that way. And right to the end there, underneath that bit. And I'm going to start there, and I might get a little bit wider as I go down. There we go. Oh, okay, how are we doing with that so far? All right. Now, we don't want it to be even. We want it to be different. So let's go in with our next one. So this time, I'm going to go from here down here and just see where it takes me. If it doesn't go to the end, it's fine. But I'm just going to then, aura it or repeat that line. There we go. Around there. And then turn it again. And then this time I might go, I'm going to come in here, I think. In here, look, underneath those there. And then let's bring it round and down. See, so I've gone in a little bit of a curve this time. I'm going to make it narrow there, and I'm going to come round again and underneath, make it a bit wider there. Okay. Oh no, Garth. I did post them, honestly. They all went. I know there's a couple of orders that came in yesterday, sort of like later, and there's one coming today. And as you can see, I'm not in the office because I've been prepping for the shows. So, if they don't go out tomorrow, I'm gonna nip in there, hopefully, and see what I can do at the end of this. But if I don't get them out, sorry guys, it's going to be Friday for those, because obviously I'm not going to be around tomorrow. So, not to worry though, they'll get there. Okay. Around we go. So far then I've got two, I've got a two, and I've got a two. I'm going to go round again and do another one. Hi Lorraine, yes, I am on Create and Craft tomorrow. Yes, it was a shock to me too. But yeah, they did ask if I could come up with something, so of course, did my best. But when I said that and I agreed, I didn't expect it to be 7:15 in the morning, but that's okay. That's okay. All right. There we go. Working my way around. And again. So I'm creating this sort of crazy looking border or frame almost. Now some of you that have tangled for a little bit now, I'm sure you recognise the pattern that we're using. But we're just using it in a slightly different way. So, just to create this bit of a border that we've got going on here. There we go. Okay, so I'll roll 1, 2, 3 that side, 3 that side, 3 that side, and let's put another one in here. So I'm just going to take that corner off there, I think. Oh, you've got to really focus a bit once you get quite a few of these lines in, just to make sure that you're getting the whole thing in. There we go. I've sort of got 3 on either side. I think that's okay. Yeah. All right. Totally different depending on... Oh, Susan, my board... No, my board's not on. I am waiting for more material to come in for that, so they will be back on my website soon. But no, it's not the board, but it is something to do with that kind of material. So we'll see. I wanted to give you something a bit different to sort of tangle on. I thought we were ready for that now. We're ready for a bit of a challenge. Okay, I'm just sort of turning it round now, and I'm having a look at the different shapes that I've got here. I think before I get carried away with some shapes, I'm going to take this this line here, and I'm going to go round and I'm going to fill it with these little bubbles. There we are. Just working my around. You notice I don't always start at the ends, I start in the middle. And that's just to give my shapes a bit of a head start, so to speak. It means that I can, I get the hang of the shape before I have to start thinking about how I'm going to make that look going underneath these other lines. There we go. Right, you see where that's working? If I use that, yeah, going in a bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing. I'm touching the sides if I can, and I'm touching that last little bubble I drew too, and just working my way around. So that'll be there, there'll be one sort of there. You see, I'm just imagining where they would be underneath that space there. All right. Gracie. Ah, yeah. There's not just one new product. Shall I just throw that in there? And then we thought we'd, if one wasn't a challenge, we did 2. Here we go. So I'm going in now, and it's sometimes, and you can do this by all means, I usually fill that in with some black, colour it in. But this time I'm going in and I'm just adding little bubbles in the space. I mean, it's entirely up to you. If you want to go in and you want to colour it as we do normally, that's fine. But I thought it'd be nice for you to see a sort of slightly different way of doing it as well. Okay. So I'm going to turn my tile. Let's take that out a little bit now. There we go, see? Look at that one. And I'm going to pick one on this side as well. I'm going to go with this one here. And I'm going to start there. See where my line went over? Let's just start there then. So I've got a full bubble shape. And I can just go on in and fill in that line. Now the challenge is with this one, because it's quite small, is getting those little dots in there afterwards. But right now I'm not worried about that. I'm just going to go in and do these little bits. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'll figure it out when I get there. That's fine. Okay. I don't know, there's something about drawing bubbles I quite like. It's sort of very natural, and when it comes natural to me, I quite like that shape. And there's no right or wrong, and they're all different, and that's absolutely fine. Alright, let's see if we can get some of these little... a couple might be little dots, but that's okay, I can get some in. Working my way around. Just nice and slowly. There we go. And again, I talk about pace a lot, and when you're in a classroom situation, or when you can see people in front of you, you can tell whether you're going too fast or too slow. But when it's like this and you can't see what's going on, I'm never quite sure. So I apologise if I'm going a bit too quick, but there is a lot I need to... I need to get certain things in, and anything longer than an hour and I wouldn't want to keep you, so I try and sort of fit it in within that time if I can. You can always go back and look at it if you're not keeping up. So that's the beauty of doing these videos, isn't it? Okay. Hey, Karen. All right. So just make sure that you're focusing, and when you're going underneath, just make sure you're on the same line, and it sort of follows through. There we go. Put one in there. That's looking quite nice. There we go. Little circles in. How are we all doing? Everybody okay there? So we've not done anything tricky at all. We're just going in and we're just filling in with those bubbles. Just nice and gradually building up those little patterns. There we are. We fancy a little bit of colour in here today, maybe? Might add a bit of colour in if we get time. Just on a few bits. Oh, hi Jill from Manchester. Is it sunny there too? It's a while since I've been in Manchester. I've done a workshop in Manchester. Very nice lady set it up for me in a school. It was lovely. The time before that, I did an art exhibition. It was probably my first and only ever art exhibition I did. And I did some artwork for just for that. I think that was just for me, really, just to see if I could put a collection together. It wasn't particularly all the Zentangle or the Sanntangle kind of stuff. It was art, pieces of art. So yeah, okay. So I'm liking that. I like how they go in and out, and we've not really planned which goes under and which goes over. We've just sort of drawn it as we've gone. Okay, so I'm going to choose another one. I'm going to go with this one here, and let me make it a bit bigger then so we can see what we're doing. Oh, Susan. What when everybody goes back to work? We haven't got time anymore. I think we need to make time for things like this in our life. Even if it's just, 15 minutes a day, just to sort of get ourselves, back to, feeling like, we're relaxed and we're okay. It's important, because I think sometimes we just forget. We get involved with work and family and running the kids here, there and everywhere, and you just lose yourself along the way. And it's nice sometimes just to take time for yourself and sit and think, well, you know what, I'm just going to do this for a while. I'm not going to worry that there's dishes in the sink or that I haven't dusted yet. It'll come. It's fine. I've lost my feather duster anyway. It fell down the back of the washing machine. And it's in a cupboard and you can't actually get to the back of the washing machine. That's my excuse anyway. And then, of course, anybody that does know me, they know I'm only 5'1". Oh, Carolyn, yeah. Yeah, so, being 5'1" means I can't reach the cobwebs in the corners of the room anyway. Okay, so with this one, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the centre. I'm going to put sort of an erratic dotted line through the centre, all the way down. So it's a little bit, I don't know, if you know Morse code, a little bit like Morse code, dashes and dots. Oh, yeah. I did used to know what they were. My husband did some flying a few years back, and he had to sit his exams, and you need to know Morse code. So he used to listen to it in the car. So I picked it up as well. My dad did it a long time ago as well, actually. So I suppose, these things come back and they remind you. Couldn't tell you what they are now, though. I have no idea. There we go. See, so I'm just filling in. As we go. All right. Fitting work from home yes, absolutely. I'm privileged that I can do this for a job. So it's for me, it's work, but it doesn't feel like work. And I think that's probably the best job to have, isn't it? When you don't feel like you're working. Well, trust me, I don't think I've ever worked so hard in all my life. And trust, being a teacher, I used to work hard. But now it's certainly different. Love it though. I absolutely love what I do. And I wouldn't want it any other way. I'll put one in there. Mm-hmm. I think the highlighters though, it is teaching. And I do love, showing people that they can do this. I think it's like giving them that confidence to sort of have a go, and then seeing what they do with it, because they think, oh yeah, I've got this now, and off they go and do their own thing. And the work that you're putting on Facebook and sending, it's just fantastic. You should all be really proud of yourselves. And I know some of you look at it and think that's not right, or I've got mistakes in there, but honestly, I've not seen one that I thought, oh, maybe you need a little bit more practice, but none at all. They're all fabulous. And if you were ever in one of my classes, you know that I wouldn't say it was if it wasn't. No, it isn't. No, but do you know, I don't mind. I don't mind getting up early to get into the studio for that time. But it's a nice environment to be in. I know it's a bit weird at the minute, but they're they work really hard there, and the crew are fantastic and look after you. So that's nice. But we're all doing the best we can, and we're all trying our hardest at the minute just to get through this. So how are we doing with these little lines then? So you knew I'd get some colouring in somewhere. Just running those dots and dashes through the centre there. So I'm not worrying about the last one to see if it's the same. It's just not going to be. I think once you accept that, it's absolutely fine. I had a sitting here, I can see out, onto the street, and you can see people walking by having their exercise, and there's a lot of people walk past with dogs. But I was a little surprised this morning to see somebody walking past with a horse. Yeah, actually taking their horse for a walk. Now, I don't particularly live in the countryside, but that was, was quite interesting. There you are. So, here we go. One more. Let's go with this one. Or shall I? No, I'm going to change my mind and go with this one. But you know what? It's my piece of work, so I can do whichever one I like. It doesn't matter at all. So it's splitting up quite nicely. It's having that little bit of drama, and you notice as well where my lines curve, and it just gives it that little sort of feeling that it's three-dimensional. So that's before we even put any pencil on. Just the way you draw your line will give it a little bit of something, whether it's character, whether it's sort of movement or dimension. It all adds up to the final product. But we're not worried about that just yet, are we? We're just more interested in just colouring that little bit in. There we go. Oh, Julie, don't worry about it. Yeah, sometimes we come in and out of these and watch a bit and go back and see it later. It's great. Has anybody ever wondered why I don't show you what we're going to do before we do it? I know in a lot of demonstrations and crafty type things, people do say, oh, this is the sample and let's look at how we made it. It doesn't work like that with this particular art form. Mm-hmm. But there we go. That's that. Oh, thank you. Do you know, it's nice. I do hear that people have Zentangled before, and now they're coming back to it. It's absolutely wonderful to hear. I think sometimes it just takes somebody to sort of have a different slant on it and just sparks your interest, and then you're good to go, and off you are again doing your thing, and that's just wonderful to hear. It's brilliant news. So yeah, welcome. Okay, how are we doing? Okay, so I've got 2 with patterns in, and then I've got 1 that's actually plain. Right. Okay, a little friend joined me. He's come to see what's going on. I have some paper on the floor, and he's quite fascinated with that at the minute. So we'll see how long it lasts. Okay, so I'm not going to put a pattern on this line. I'm going to have a look at some of the spaces in between. So let's say, for example, I'm going to look at this space here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it with some lines. Now again, wavy or not, doesn't really matter. It's entirely up to you. And I'm just going to go across and I'm just going to keep going. Okay, see where that's working? I'm just going to turn it round. I can see what I've drawn then. I'm keeping the gap sort of similar, or I could get a bit wider or a bit narrower. So I'll get a bit narrower. See how close I can get as far as I go in. There we go. So you notice the difference as well. That now looks like, again, a bit more dimension because they're really close together. Well, that changes slightly. Okay. So from a distance, you see. And then I think I'm going to pick this little space here, and I'm going to do the same again. And just fill it with those lines. There we go. Just getting smaller and smaller as we go down there. And then turn the tile again, and I'm going to pick 2 more spaces. Doesn't matter which ones. I'm going to go with, let me just make sure I'm in the right one. I've got a gap. I'll go with that one there. And you know, the beauty of this is we didn't plan it. We didn't think, oh, I'm going to leave a space there because I'm going to put some lines in it. We just sort of now are looking and thinking, wow, which one do I go with? Which do I feel like? And there's no concern about whether it's right or wrong. you're filling a space in, and that space didn't exist 10 minutes ago. There we go. Alright, so I've got sort of one on each side. I could put another in if I like, but I'm not going to. I think I'm going to leave those gaps. Because I've got a few here, I'm going to go in and, yeah. Let's just fill it with little orbs again. Now, again, if you've got a different pattern that you want to fill that space with, that's absolutely fine. Go in and fill that space. You don't have to use the same one. But this time, look, I am filling the edges in there. There we go. And just to be a little bit different, I'm not going to do that in every one. I think I'm just going to do one. See here, I've got a couple of spaces. So I'm going to fill that one in there. Just putting those little bubbles in and filling those little gaps. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to put one over here. I think it needs one. Actually, I'm going to put one in here. I'll just get two in there and then fill those gaps in. Okay. I'm not going to do any more. I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know, I love that name, Sanntangle. It's just nice to have a bit of a mix, isn't it? And do some crafting with it. You know, it doesn't have to just be on a tile all the time. All right, we're ready for the next bit. I'm focusing now. I'm looking in the centre. When I say the centre, I say that loosely because it's not exactly a perfect centrepiece, is it? But it's got an unusual shape to it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to aura around that shape that I have there. And that just means that I'm going to follow the lines and create a line that's working alongside what I've already got on the page. Just turning my tile as I go. Absolutely no rush in the world. Don't worry about whether they're getting fatter or thinner. It's just giving us a little bit of a gap, a bit of a space there. Okay. All right. So next step then. Now I'm going to go a bit bigger. Now I'm going to, doesn't matter which side we start from. I'm going to start up here. And here we go. So I'm going to start with a bit of a line. And then I'm going to aura the line. Putting one next to it. Okay. So then I'm going to put a little curve, just a little one. And then I'm going to create, I'm not doing a full, like a poke root, like a circle shape here. I'm going to do something a little bit flatter. All right, so it's a little bit squished. Okay. And then I'm going to draw another one around. See now this time where it joins. So I've not gone all the way around. I've just sort of picked it up here, come round, and then it's joined there. And then I'm going to come in a little bit and do another one. Yeah, in a bit, do another one. And then another. And you see each time it's coming in and it's sort of creating a little bit, I don't know, maybe beehive-y kind of shape. And let's put a little flick on the end. Look at that. Okay. So let's just move out a little bit. You see where I'm going to put the next one. You see the size. It's not too small, is it, that? Yeah. So I think this time I'm going to do one. Let's turn it around a bit. Let's have one coming from a similar place. But let's go up there. You see how I've gone underneath it? Oh, yeah, these are nice. And then from there to there. So I've done the same thing again. Oh, it's all right. So you can have a nap, eh? Oh, but welcome. Do you know what this is sort of? I do when I've sat and done one of these. I do feel like I've come out of a nap. I've had a little bit of a relax. There we go. You think I should be horizontal then? The amount I do. I should be relaxed all the time. Yeah. There we are. Okay. Yes, it is, Julian. New type of Zinger. It's not one I've created. It is one in the official Zentangle tangle patterns. But yeah, it's a nice take on it. We could add zingers in as well. Oh, there, I've said it again. I'm sure you do that on purpose to make me put one in. Yeah. If anybody doesn't know with zingers, they get a bit addictive. And you can end up, it's a little bit like weeds that your picture gets overrun with them. There's so many. We're doing so far. I might come down and put one here, look. Yeah, so I'm not worrying about trying to keep them all in the corner there. I'm just working my way through, keeping that first one quite flat. And then auroring round it. Again, just each one gets a little bit small. That one's go out that way. It's underneath the border there, look. Okay. I might put another one in. Put another one in here. See, quite a small stem there. But same sort of thing going on. Let's turn it round and follow it through as we did before. Round and round and round. Now you see this one, I'm shaping a little bit, so I'm doing more of it close to this side than this side. You see how it sort of does that curl? It's quite sweet, isn't it? Okay. So then I'm going to leave this corner and I'm going to come into this corner. And let's put a few more in. So there's my line again. And then that little curve. And then a nice flat shape. Oh, let's make that touch. And then coming round. And round. Have we got the idea of this one? Yeah, it's nice, this one, isn't it? You can get some nice shading and things onto this one as well, which we'll do in a minute. There we are, another one coming this way. I like to cross them over. I just think it gives it a bit of life. April, it does have a name. It's called, shall I spell it? Let me turn that over a minute and I'll spell it out. Spring. Cool. There we go. Just in case you need to. There we go. There are lots of different patterns and they've all got really crazy names, which is quite nice. I find a lot of the time now that you can stick with the basic, but we tend to sort of develop them as we go. And they end up, being a little bit different, which is great because it means that, we've got our own little stamp on it and our own characteristics within it. You might find, you watch this and somebody else draw it, you might see that it's different to how I've drawn it slightly. But that's just the nature of it, and that's why we're all creative. We're all doing something a little bit different. There we go. Let's stick one here. There we go. Nice. That one's a bit fatter than I wanted it to be, but that's all right. It's going to be a bit different. Let's take that one this way. There we go. And let's have one coming in here. Now, I suppose, we could look at all of these and they'd all be completely different. You find that you've not put yours in the same place, and I don't want you to put them in the same place. I want you to be different with them. But it's really interesting to see them afterwards, see what you've all done with them. And I will get back to, putting them all together as a mosaic. But, I haven't had a minute yet. But I will do it. I will get round to it. So, here we go. There we go. All right, let's have a look at that one so far. Okay. Now, if we were to just leave it like that, that's fine, and we could put more in, but it's nice to sort of give it a bit of, as I say, realism. And let's put in some different type of shapes. So I'm starting with the same thing, look. And I'm putting that curve in just like before. But then this time, let's go from here. You see, from this point here, and pull it outwards. And this way here, and pull it outwards. And let's create some little leaves. Right. Oh, hey Janet, welcome back. We thought it had gone quiet. Yeah. So let's grow a few out here. It's nice to have a few, something different, isn't it? There we go, let's have one here. Oh, sorry, I drew that one and I forgot that I wasn't in shot then. I think this is it, you get carried away, and as you keep turning it, well, let's have a look at that. You lose it. Let's have, see these as well, these are quite nice, they're just little stems with almost a little bead on the end. There we go, it just gives it a little bit of interest as we're going along. And let's do the same this side, little curve, there we go. I'm working my way up. Oh yeah, another one here. What do we think so far? Are we liking this one? It's make a you know I'm kidding, Janet. It's yeah, make a nice card top of this one, wouldn't it? You know. And actually, when you think about it, you know, I know we're taking our time because we're learning new things as we go, but it doesn't take so long. Yeah. Let's have one in there. And then, of course, we can throw in a couple of regular zingers. There we go. You see that they don't actually touch each other. It's the same shape. There we go. Dot on the end. So that's almost like our sort of flat shape. And then we aura around, but they don't touch. You see? There we are. See, the thing is with these is you find that you can't stop once you've done them. And they get carried away. See, I need one in this side now. There we go. One there. Let's have a look there. Okay, now it wouldn't be, it wouldn't be finished, would it, if we didn't put a few little bubbles in there as well. And bubbles, I find, fill little gaps in. So you see, if you've got here, it's starting to look a little confusing. Go in and fill it with some bubbles, and it just finishes off, or it sort of neatens it up almost, just in that bottom edge. And then as you come out of that corner, you can start to sort of loosen off a little bit, and add in a few that are not joined up. There we go. Just adds that little bit more to it. Alright, let's do this side. So again, starting in that far corner there. Here we go. Just filling in those little gaps just to sort of cover them areas. And working our way out. You see how my bubbles sort of get less and less. Different sizes. See, let's fill that one. Let's have a couple there. Oh, he's got a bubble on that. There we are. Oh, look at that, so cute. Alright, there we go. So I'm gonna just go around that line and just increase the weight of it a little bit, just by adding a little bit more pen to it. That's just before we start and we get our pencil out. Just working my way around. Nice and gradually. I'm not pressing on particularly, but I'm just adding another line almost, really close. So it's thickening it up a bit. Just gives it a bit more weight there, see? Okay, so let's have a look at that from a little bit further down. There we are. Okay. All right, so for the first time, let's pick up our pencil. Okay. And we're going to sort of focus first on these little bubbles. And those of you that have watched all the videos, they now know that we're going to put that little sort of smirk on there. Now, it doesn't matter which side you put this on. I'd just suggest that you keep to the same side. So see, I've gone bottom right. If you've gone top left, that's fine, but just keep them all top left. So you see, I've turned my tile and I'm doing the same again. I'm even going to do it in those there, that we did it later on. Just turning my tile, and any of those little bubbles that I've got, let's go in and put that little mark on. You see, you notice that, I'm not using the point of my pencil. I'm just using the side. Just working it round. See, that one should have been that way. Turn it again. Let's have them more to the side. You can feel it, I think. If you work into the point, you think, oh, I'm on the point, don't need to be. We just don't need a harsh line. We just need a little flick of graphite almost. There we go. Okay. So once we've done that one, I'm going to choose a side. Now I'm going on to the right hand side, and I'm going to add some graphite all the way down. Now if you want to use the left, that's fine, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to do that now with all of those lines that I drew in the first place, but I'm sticking to the same side. So you see, I've done the right there, the right there. Let's do the right there. Then I'm going to turn my tile, and then again the right hand side. Like I say, if you've done the left, that's fine. Just sort of keep it the same. So don't worry about being too neat. You're just looking at putting some of that graphite down. There we go. Just keeping it the same side each time. Yeah, oh yeah, you could stamp some fairies in the middle of this. It's a bit like the alien landscape we did, isn't it? Was that last week? That would look nice. Or you could not do anything in the middle and stamp a sentiment if you wanted to. That'd be nice. Or the dragonfly out of the mini set one would look nice as an additional thing here. There's all sorts of things you can do with it. Yeah. Do you know what? I like the word smirk. I don't know why. And it just looks like, imagine putting a little face on it. It looks like a smirk. Looks like they're smiling at you. There we are. And last one. So quite a bit of graphite on there, I know. And I know we've not smoothed anything yet, but I thought we'd put all that on first. Okay. So let's just go into the centre. Now here, what I'm going to do is work on one edge and then the other. Same again, and then same again. So each edge, so it's almost like I'm doing a bit of a V shape, and I'm just adding some in. You can see where that's going, can't you? I'm going to be leaving a gap in the middle just to give it a little bit of a highlight. There we go. Way down there. Now, this one I'm just going to add just a touch onto the leaves. Nothing much, just a little line just to give it something. Yeah. And let's turn that round. Yeah, they do look a bit magical, don't they? I think certainly now when we've added the shade, let's see how it looks then. Okay, in there. Remember, just either side. Bit there. Alright, we are going to come back in with the pencil in a minute, but I think now we just need to have a look and get our tortillon moving. So I'm going to go back to my little bubbles and just curve it round a touch, just to sort of smoothen that line off. You see? I'll do them while I'm here. And then the lines that I've put on the right hand side, I'm just going to go in. And just, see, I'm just going along it and moving my tortillon backwards and forwards. So no swirls, nothing fancy. I'm just easing that edge off. See? Just doing all of them while I'm on this side. Okay? Yeah. I have got some coloured pencils, so I'm going to colour in a minute. So let's see how that works out. And then you can make a decision as to where you want to put colour. Do you know what else would look nice with this? I don't know if you use Brusho or pixie powders or anything like that. You could have used them on your tile first. Certainly your Brusho. I mean, your pixie powders sometimes they can be a bit gritty for the pen, so you might want to do it after. But yeah, if you actually use the Brusho onto your tile, let it dry, and then tangle onto it, that looks pretty cool as well. And that means then you're not worrying about creating a background, it's just doing it for you. So that could be quite nice. I've actually got a tile that I use pixie powders on, and it's just so beautiful. I just don't want to work on it. I will one day. I'll use it. But it's nice. I think I did it on a black tile, and it's just pixie powders are just so sparkly on it. They're just lovely. Okay, you see what I'm doing? I'm actually working my way round. I missed a bit. Just putting that shadow in. I'm doing all the border first. So going in with those little bubbles, and then just smoothing off those lines. We just don't want a rough edge or a sharp edge. We want something that's quite smooth. See, I missed a bit there. There we go. Okay. That one's done. All right. So then let's have a look at that. There we go. Okay, I'm going to come back and add a little bit in a minute to some of those sections, but let's work on this in the middle first. So working from that edge, you're just going to ever so gently work it in, and then from this side work it in. And the idea is that you want a stripe of light down the centre, so it's darker on the edges. It's just our leaves, I'm just going to go in and just add a touch, smooth it out a bit. They're almost background, so I don't want to give them too much time there. This is the main thing. There we go. They're looking lovely, aren't they? Oh, let's do one at a time. Let's not get carried away, because otherwise I'll forget to do one of the sides on one. Just gradually working my way around. Not worrying too much about those leaves. Just giving them a bit of shadow. Now I could go in and drop shadow these, but I'm not going to today, because I think we've done that a couple of times now, so you know what you're doing with your drop shadowing. So far that's where we're at. So I'm going to now just quickly look at these sort of stripe sections, and where there's no graphite and no shadow, I'm just going to add a line in there and then just smooth it out. So I've got shadows on either side, and I'm just leaving that white gap. So here's going to be a bit more of a challenge, so I'm going to put just a little bit in. Not oddly touch that. And the same there, look, it's a really small area. Just touch that. And then that one, I'm going to do there and there. Just smooth it out. Oh, I missed one, haven't I? Okay, last bit for pencil. Where we thickened up this line here around the border, I'm now going to go in and I'm going to put some graphite. Now I'm going to be quite heavy with it. Let me show you there. Okay. Oh, one who's talking about tortillons and dripped in. Yeah, you can. It works. So you've got to remember, if you're going in with pencils and baby oil, make sure you've done all your drawing first, because you don't want to go back in with your pen because it doesn't like the baby oil. But yeah, totally agree with that. That'd be great, and that really does help. It means you can actually go back over and do multiple layers of pencil. It's quite nice. Okay. So I'm going to go round. Now you see I've switched to sort of swirly shapes. There we go. Take my tile. So this is just going to frame that picture a little bit, just so we can work it through. And it's got a bit of depth in there. So it's almost now like the border's come to the foreground again, and we've put the picture in the background, so it's sort of looking through a window maybe. Funny shaped window, I know, but a window maybe nonetheless. There we go. Oh, Joe, so hopefully, yeah, this could be your thing. Okay. I've got 3 pencils here. I'm going to go in with a dark, my mid, there we go, and my light. I know sometimes I use chameleons. These are polychromos. I do like the polychromos. They blend nicely, because you can see around the edge we've got a few sort of big gaps. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go in again with my darkest to start with. Now I know we've put pencil in there, we've shaded, but that's fine. I'm going straight over it, and I'm going to put dark this side too. Let's go a bit bigger so we can see that. There we are. Then the mid colour, and I'm going to work from one to the other. Same this side. You see I've not pressed on at all, and you can still see the white of the paper. That's fine. And then the lighter colour. And I'm going to get a little bit less pressure there. And just leave the white of the paper there. Alright. And then I can go in now. Now I've sort of got my colours set out, I'm going to go in and press on a little bit more. And back to my mid colour. Same on that side. And then back to my darker colour. Oh yeah. Yeah, I am, well, this is now tile 13. I am going to go up to 24 tiles. Somebody's asking there. And I'm hoping to do some black tiles. And I want to do some different shapes. So I have got some stuff on order that I want for the new packs. Hoping to have them on my website on Friday. So watch out for that. I mean, if you haven't got any, or if you've got black tiles and stuff already, that's great. So definitely black, and obviously you can't use a black pen on a black tile. It doesn't quite do the job. So we're looking at using white pencils. I mean, again, you can use other colours. You can use different gel pens, pastel pencils, that kind of thing. But I'll explain that, and I think, I don't want to spoil all the surprises. We'll see how we go. But yeah, hopefully I'll have them ready Friday. I'll have a break from packing Friday. Hopefully, anyway, packing. You never know. There we go. So you see, I've sort of turned now, and I've chosen one of the spaces on the other side, and I'm repeating the same thing. I've gone from dark to light, and then I'm now going back light to mid to dark. There we go. Now I would spend a little bit more time, I think. Talk about it. This, but you know, just to sort of give you an idea. And it just so happens that my bigger areas are actually here and here. It might have been that I chose this one to colour. It doesn't have to be one on the end. It's just that that's the spaces I've got. You might find that your spaces are sort of more internal, which is absolutely fine. Just pick one and add a bit of colour. Or even, you know, no colour. You can go in with your pencil. And then the tortillon and smooth it out. But, I just thought for this, it's just nice. I know I didn't tell you that I was going to throw pencils in. Well, I tend to do this with classes. I'm sorry. I suddenly have this idea and think, you know what, it needs that. And I don't tell people, sorry. Oh, Tina, yeah. These ones are Polychromos by Faber-Castell. I mean, certainly somebody mentioned earlier about using baby oil to blend. You can use baby oil to blend these, and it works fabulously. But then you can go over and do another layer and another layer, and they'll go on for ages. They're not the cheapest on the market, but do you know what? You get what you pay for. And these are light fast, so this means that if you're putting something on the wall in your conservatory or something, it's not going to fade. The colours are going to stay. I think there's a couple of colours. I think it's the magenta, a couple of the magentas that are not so light fast, but the majority of them are. But some others don't. But do you know what? Whatever you've got, don't worry about what you have and haven't got. If you haven't got these, it don't matter. Just use what you have. It's fine. Just I think sometimes these just make it easier to blend. I mean, trust me, I've blended with some of the worst. Being in a, there we go. So look at that. There we are. Now I know we mentioned a little bit of colour in the middle. I'm going in with my lightest. I'm just going to add a touch, and it's going over the pencil, so you're getting that graphite effect still. Let's go a bit bigger so you see. But it's just adding a touch of warmth on those edges there. There we go. And a little bit here. I'm not going to overdo this. I'm not putting loads of colour on. I'm just adding some colour onto the edges of those. And just to give it a bit of warmth and bring your eye into that, being that we've put some on the frame. There we go. Okay. Oh, Julia, yours is going to be fantastic. The numbers of the colours. Oh, okay, that's fine. My darkest is red violet. I don't know if you can get that. Hang on, so you can get into. There we go. Red violet. That's 194. That's the darkest. The mid colour that I've used, we go Venetian red, which is 190. And this is out of the 120 sets, this one. And there we go. We've got medium flesh, which is 131. That's the colours I've used, okay? And that's what that's created. But you know what? Use any colour you like. It really doesn't matter. Yeah, go in and use loads. I mean, I say I would perhaps spend a little bit more time with those, but I'm going to leave it at that because that takes us exactly... Oh, Joe, you've got the chameleons. Yeah. That takes us exactly up to the 2 o'clock... 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock, we started at 2. But I wanted to show you what I've done with this because it's a nice little tile, and we've put a lot in our journals at the minute, and certainly I'd put one in my journal. But I think it's also nice to sort of see it outside the journal as well. So what I have done is I've made a card with that particular one on. There we are, look. So it's the same pattern as you can see, and I've used similar colours, but you see I've blended it a little bit more. There we go. And I've used the photo corners, so I've kept it in with the fact that it's a tile, but matted and layered it just like you would. I've actually used a spray on it, a spray and glitter on it, so that's not going to rub off. And then you can see on the background there, I've just taken some of those borders and I've extended them, there you go, onto the card itself. But a new box, Sue. You know, we need to crack them open and get them used. Yeah. So I just thought it'd be nice for you to see it a little bit differently. And I know everybody really is very kind and they take the time to put messages on, and it's nice that we have these conversations. So once we finish this, I'll go back through and I'll count. Well, I know how many messages I've got there, and what I'll do, I'll get my husband to pick a number at random. And whichever number comes out, I'll message you for your address and I'll send you the card. And if you want it, of course. I mean, we're all doing fantastic work now. You know, you don't need to get cards from people. But I'm absolutely fine with that. So if you're happy and you want, I'll do that. That's fine. So if you get a message from me, send me your address and I'll post it off to you. But yeah, have fun with this one. Enjoy it. A quick sneak of something that is coming in the new packs, and you can see that I've started here to work on the same pattern here as here. Yeah, look, different shapes, and I can show you what you might be finding in terms of new tile shapes. So other than that, I'm actually not gonna tell you anything else. So yeah, if you're up tomorrow at 7:15, it'd be lovely to sort of not see you, but know that you're there. I'm sure I'll be there. If not, they'll come and knock me up, I'm sure. But yeah, that's what I'm aiming for. Anything else, parcels wise, if I haven't got to it today, then it's going to be Friday. So thank you ever so much for that. Thank you for supporting me. And thank you so much for watching these. I think I'm getting just as much out of them as you are, maybe more. I'm really enjoying it, and it's nice that we stay connected, isn't it? So, yeah, please have a go. Let me see what you're doing. Put it onto a card. Let me see it in your journal, whatever you want to do with it. So, yeah, have fun with it. And I will see you, what day is Wednesday? I will speak to you again on Friday at 2:00. All right, you take care. Have fun with it. I'll see you soon.